Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving into a fascinating article about improving mathematical handwriting. It's surprisingly important, even in the digital age.
Absolutely. I've always struggled with my handwriting, especially when it comes to math. What are some of the key takeaways from this article?
The core idea is clarity, avoiding ambiguity. In math, unlike prose, context doesn't always save you. A misinterpreted symbol can derail an entire calculation. The author, John Curl, emphasizes the importance of distinct letter forms to prevent confusion between similar-looking characters. He uses many examples.
I see. So it's not just about neatness, but about actively differentiating similar symbols? Like, what specific examples does he give?
Oh, tons. For lowercase Roman letters, he stresses making the L cursive and taller than an E to avoid confusion with 1. The P needs a distinct point at the top to differentiate it from rho. A Q should have a stroke, not a loop, to avoid confusion with 9. And the T needs a hook to avoid looking like a plus sign. It's all about those little details.
That's really interesting. It's amazing how many subtle differences can make a huge impact. What about Greek letters? I always found those tricky.
Exactly. Greek letters are a big part of the article. He emphasizes writing alpha in one swoosh to avoid it looking like a 2. Eta and mu need long tails to distinguish them from N and a cursive U. Lambda needs a hook at the top, and nu, and upsilon are particularly problematic because they resemble so many other letters. He suggests adding specific hooks and points to make them distinct. It's a real challenge.
I think I'm getting it. It's about creating a consistent and unambiguous style, right? But isn't it a bit pedantic? I mean, surely context often helps in more complex equations?
That's a good point. While context can sometimes help, the author argues that relying on context is risky, especially in complex equations where a single misinterpretation can have cascading effects. It's better to be proactive and develop a clear, consistent style from the start. Think of it as a form of defensive programming for your handwriting.
I see. So it's about minimizing the potential for error, even if it means being a bit more meticulous. It's like writing code. You want to make it as clear and unambiguous as possible to avoid bugs. This is a really useful perspective. Thanks for sharing this.
My pleasure. The article also covers uppercase letters and digits, but the principles remain the same: clarity and distinctness. Remember, good mathematical handwriting is a skill that improves with practice. So, grab a pen and start practicing those distinct letter forms.
Definitely. Thanks for the insightful discussion. This was really helpful.
You're welcome. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.